bitches, and gentlefolk. Welcome to Tabletop Tiddies, a queer and feminist live Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play podcast run entirely by people of marginalized genders. My name is Charlene Bear, my pronouns are she, they, and you can call me Char. Before we get into our Q&A episode, we want to acknowledge the colonial history of Canada and how Canada has and continues to take from Indigenous people. The effects of colonization are still felt to this day, and we acknowledge that this episode is being recorded on the stolen lands of the Secwepemc, Semiahmoo, Katzie, Kwantlen, Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Coast Salish First Nations. If you would like to know more about the effects of colonization and support some Indigenous charities and organizations, you can go to the resources page on our website at tabletoptiddies.com/resources. And the Tabletop Tiddies team is ready to go.
I'm going to assume it's me going first. Hey, everybody. It's me, Rachel Theilade. My pronouns are she, her, and I play. Okay, here we go. We play Borba Skull Cleaver, the orc barbarian whose pronouns are also she, her. I also play Evelyn Stormloft, the Nosferatu, whose pronouns are also she, her. And more recently, I play Reginald Brightclaw, Sir Reginald Brightclaw, to be more specific, the Tabaxi Paladin, whose pronouns are he, him.
Nice.
And what do you do behind the scenes, Rachel? We're introducing all of our stuff today.
I do the social medias. I run all of the Twitters and the Instas and the Facebooks. So if you see the Twitters, that's me. Hi. How are you?
Hello, my name is Kelly. My pronouns are they, them, and I played Asher Lochnear, the changeling Way of Mercy monk celestial warlock, who was at one point just a celestial warlock, but got better. I also storytell for TBN. I don't have an overlay for that, and as you can tell, I do all of the streaming and tech stuff. So anytime anything fucks up, it's my fault. And, So when Sara and Rachel were swapped for a second there, that was me. I also edited TBN, the podcast, and make logos and stuff. That's me. There we go. Hey, how's it going?
Logos and stuff.
My name is Sara Mayfield. My pronouns are she, her, and I played Wilmer Adamith Myandis, third of his name, Killing Machine, Victor of Wild Well, Slayer of Dragons and the Constructed, good brother and heir to Fearfort, who is also a half-elf wild magic sorcerer. Behind the scenes, I ran the podcast ad swaps, all the advertising that you hear on stream and the podcast, worked on press releases, and did some organization of us guesting on other pods.
Yay! It's me! Hello, my name is Emily Matchette. My pronouns are she, her, and I played Steve, the Gnome Rogue Artificer, she, her, on Into the Revelia, and on Tiddies By Night, I played Imogen White. Oh! Right. Her pronouns are she, her. She's a slubry. And behind the scenes, I edit the D&D podcast and general kelp.
It sounded like you said kelp with a K.
Kelp. Reporting for service. I help out with all things that need help, really. Bug people to do things they're supposed to.
Wow.
Including myself.
Char, you have to talk
what?
now.
Yeah.
Sarah.
It's Syrinscape.
No, Char, you.
Char, are you still gonna go? Tell us who
I got your
played.
character from TVN and stuff.
Oh, that's true. Because it's a Q&A, so it's not just titties. I'm a dum-dum. I'm Char. I'm the DM of our D&D show, and then I play Octavia Miller on Tiddies By Night, the Tremere. Otherwise, when I'm not playing, I run the Patreon. I do our IMDb. I do a lot of the press release work. I help out a bunch of other stuff. It's a bit chaotic.
Organize guests.
Oh, yeah, and then I try and beg people to come on the show. Please, God, help us. And that's it. And, yeah, Syrinscape.
Yeah, tonight we're using Syrinscape to make our stream more atmospheric. You can use their music in your home game at Syrinscape.com.
Hell yeah. Before we dive into our Q&A episode, I just want to say that there is a spoiler warning starting now because we will be discussing events probably from season 1 and 2 of our D&D show, so Wild Well Trials and Into the Revelia, as well as season 1 of our Vampire the Masquerade game, Tiddies By Night. We're running through a list of questions that were submitted prior to us going live this evening, but if you are watching live in chat, keep on submitting those cues and we'll be going for about an hour and a half. And I guess that means that we're just jumping right in. I'm starting us off with a low ball. Rachel Spencer on Instagram, or no, this was on Twitter, asked, what is the name of that spell that Asher uses to make their clothes clean, and what does it mean?
Oh, yeah. So the spell is prestidigitation. It can do a bunch of stuff, mostly auditory and sensory abilities. I don't know what prestidigitation means IRL. It's kind of like abracadabra in my mind. I'm assuming it's got a real origin of etymology.
I'm Googling it.
Yeah, I heard keyboard. I was like, Emily's totally Googling it.
It means magic tricks performed as entertainment.
Yeah, so it's a cantrip. So you can literally just the idea of washing machines in D&D don't make sense because there's literally a cantrip that just cleans messes.
It comes from the French word preste, which means nimble in Latin, the digitus, which means finger in Latin, and then the Asian is just English.
Wait,
English.
It means nimble fingers?
Yep.
Ooh. Ew.
Nimble finger Asian. Oh no.
It's one of those
Flip it.
episodes.
Flip it.
It's one of my favorites.
Somebody clip it.
So you all ended the D&D season at level 13. Do you have any advice for folks who head into playing higher level characters? I'm going to start with Rachel for this one because Rachel, you had to literally learn a new character sheet that was level 13 right off the bat at the end there of our D&D show.
Yeah. I'd probably say do your research, like read into like what you're speccing into. Like even if you are just like doing the D&D Beyond and it does everything for you. For me, I actually did it the long way around and actually like slowly like, okay, I started from level 1 and I went through and I like picked everything I wanted to do instead of letting D&D Beyond just make a level 13 paladin for me. Just because I didn't want to have all the stuff that I like didn't really look into and just randomly pick. Yeah, I feel like that is the way to do it, at least in my opinion, because then you're not just looking at a bunch of things being like, this looks neat. You actually know kind of what they do.
Anyone else who like lived with their character for 2 seasons and went all the way up to 13 have any input on advice?
I have no advice. No. I agree the same thing though. Like, I think it's very easy to get overwhelmed with the amount of things that you can do when you get into those higher levels, especially if you're not like a fighter and you like when you get to like combat turns and you just have like your one thing you can do. It can be a lot. So just like take a breath. It's okay. It's not like you're live and people are waiting for things to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, I like mine is just like pick your top favorite things that are easy for you to understand and do, and then just rock with what you know. Because I mean, like worst case scenario, like I don't know. For me, the thing that I hate the most in D&D is when you do something you don't know how to do and you try to do it anyways and then you don't know how it works, so then everyone's like, nah, that's not how it works, and you're like, well, I read the spell over once like 3 weeks ago, so I think I know.
I'm pretty sure I'm aware.
Pretty sure. Actually, I know what I'm doing.
On kind of Sarah's point though, I think it is very valuable to keep it simple and do what you know. Not every single turn is going to be like literally burn down a building and it all collapses and kills everyone in a one swift blow situation. Like if you Eldritch Blast, then you can Eldritch Blast. Like
Yeah. When I remade Asher as level 13, just straight warlock, I literally like picked a theme. I was like, they're now a tree. And so all of the spells and abilities and like mystic arcanums and shit I picked were literally could a tree god do this? And then I did it, and that was what Asher does.
Smart. Yeah. That's a like good tip on building a new character as well, of like if you're feeling overwhelmed with all the options, especially like in D&D Beyond, it just shows you have like 18 different subclasses you can choose if you own all the books. That's really helpful to go with the theme and move on from there. I love that. Friends, do we all have our dice available?
I do.
Because, oh my goodness, what the heck? We are in the midway all of a sudden? Please, my dears. You all, that music! Holy cow!
oh wait, no, I don't have it up enough. I can't hear it. There it is. I hear it. I'm ready.
You all approach Deadringer. You see Swolston there, rainbow beard, eating a lovely beignet. Oh, hey there. I thought you'd come back there. Rachel, who are you playing right now? Are you Borba or are you...
wait, hold up. Do we need character sheets open? Hold up. Pause. I don't know Steve's stats off the top of my head.
Holy shit.
We're in character now. We're back.
You gotta. We're not just chucking dice.
For shits and giggles, you know what? Let's just go back in time. I'm playing Borba.
All right.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey there, I love this little cat, and hey Borba, nice to see you. I had a feeling you were gone, but I guess not. That's great. So
I feel like I'm in a place where only one-shots happen.
yeah, I
And
feel
you turn
like
into David Bowie?
the Revelia will happen like that sometimes, yeah. But here we go. And then they're going to pass out to all of you 10 rings. And before you is a bunch of creepy crawlies waiting with their fingers pointed up to the sky in a variety of ways. And what we are doing is we are going to roll dexterity checks.
Ooh,
You have
yeah.
10 chances to make this. So you should have your character sheet open because you need to know what you're adding to your dex check for these rolls.
I shouldn't have picked Borba. I should have picked Ultimacy.
My level 30 Asher Monklock has 20 dexterity. Or level 13, rather. Has 20
Damn
dexterity.
it, I have 19. I need one more. Can we level up to level 14 for this?
Guys,
Fine, you will just lose.
Borba has a +1 to Dex, and it's not good.
So the DC you're aiming for to be able to get a point in this Dead Ringer game is a DC of 12. So I'm going to count down from 3. 3, 2, 1, go. On go, you're going to keep rolling, trying to get that 12. And remember to add your dex modifier.
How many do we need?
You have 10, and you're trying to just get the most you can. You only have 10 chances to go.
All right.
It's 12 or higher, yeah? Not
Yep.
higher than... Yeah, okay, cool.
12 or
I know
higher.
how D&D works.
I have 5.
We've been playing now
my
for
hand.
over a year. I know how D&D works. I just need to quickly math. So if I have a +4, I need to roll
An 8 or higher.
Yeah? Okay, cool.
Okay.
7.
So I need to roll a 7 or 8, 9 or higher.
How many? We have 10
You
rolls
have
total. How
10
many do we
rolls
need to
total,
win?
and you just need to beat everybody else. So you're just counting the amounts that you're getting.
Oh, okay, cool.
And we're starting in 3, 2, 1, go! Ale. Who is it gonna be?
4.
Oh my gosh, Steve is
5,
just getting every single roll
6,
apparently.
3, 4,
Two.
5,
Not that one. 7,
6.
8,
Yeah, but roll.
9,
4.
10. I got 7. I failed on 3 of them.
5.
I got.
Oh, that wasn't a time thing, was it? I was like,
It's fine, it's good to go fast.
I got 5 of them.
I got
6.
4.
I had a +5, and I was rolling like nat 1s and 3s and shit.
Whoa. I got 1 singular nat 20.
Well, here you go there, Steve. It seems like you're our winner. I got some a gift card for you for Marge's Meadery. Got some good stuff there. Here you go.
I've got a coupon for that I never use.
Now you have a coupon and you got a gift card. Whoa.
Excellent. What was my coupon for? I was like 50% off. It was a pretty decent coupon.
It was a good coupon.
And I never
Marge
used
is
it,
our
but-
friend. She would have just given us anything we needed.
Probably.
Also that.
All
I
right,
like that game.
back to questions. Gotta
Yeah.
cool down.
Bye,
Whew.
music.
Back to
Uh,
real life.
The music.
Switching over to TBN land, we have a question from the Wapoosh on Twitter. Apologies if I say that wrong. I'm so sorry. What did you learn from this season that you'll take forward? And how do you get bloodstains out of a church basement, by the way?
You don't.
Well, I wouldn't know. I didn't help clean it up. It's the one time I didn't help. Who's going first?
Oh, yeah, I've been like telling people. Yeah, Emily, go for it. You start
Oh
speaking.
God. Actually, you know what? No, Char, you speak. You speak your answers. You haven't answered anything yet.
Ooh, okay. What did I learn from this season that I'll take forward? I'm really excited to dive deeper into my abilities. So I made Octavia and I made sure to take animalism because there's an ability that I really want, which is an amalgamation of animalism and obfuscate, which are two disciplines in Vampire the Masquerade, that allows you to house insects in your body. And it's so cool to me. It makes me think of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, where the vampire chick like explodes into bats. And I really wanted to have that be a part of Octavia's character. But then as we went forward with the season, Octavia really changed and she became so much more like blood sorcery focused and like really magical and mystical. Originally, she was going to be more like comedic relief was my plan. But I'm going to lean into the journey that I've had with her so far and just dive deeper into the mystic arts, I think. Maybe do some actual tarot reading. I've been putting that off the entire season. Season 2, maybe I'll learn how to do that.
Join.
But yeah, that's me.
I learned that how do I say this without slandering myself?
Do it.
I enjoy and I am better at playing more energetic, maybe lower intelligence characters. I really, really enjoyed playing Imogen. I really quite love that little bean. Whereas I feel like it's impossible to compare them, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Steve was very much more difficult for me to play. So I just learned as myself as a role player, the more youthful, energetic, maybe more positive characters, so maybe just a better fit for me.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. That and I learned how to play vampire. I didn't.
That'll
I
help to
still
season
I
2.
still don't know how to play this game.
We're just flying by the seat of our
Cheers.
pants. It's fine.
Actually, though, which is, I think it's fine. We're all learning. It's fine.
Yeah. What did I learn going forward? I mean, besides learning how to play the game, I think Evelyn also has kind of shifted from where I thought she was gonna go. Because before I was gonna play her as this like edgy. She's still pretty edgy. But like, I don't care about anyone, Nosferatu, all of this stuff, and like, I only care about my one goal. And then it kind of opened up into a little bit, getting more into the political side of Vampire, which none of us were planning on really venturing into too much. Like, it's a part of the game, but we weren't planning on like centralizing that in the story. And then I think Evelyn's goals just kind of aligned with that a little bit more. So I think I realized when somebody tells her she can't have something, she's just like, well, now I gotta do it.
Now I need it.
So I'm excited to now dive into that side of the game a little bit, while also trying to balance what we already have going on. I think that'll be interesting.
Super cool.
Now that you've attacked the harpy, how the political stuff is going to happen.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna happen whether we want it to or not now.
It's happening.
You're gonna be politicked at.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Kelly?
So I went in. This was the first full campaign I've story told. I've done a few like one shots and stuff like that. So
For
I went
Vampire.
in very intimidated that not like following the rules and like telling a story and stuff, but more like joining the family and having to like thinking that I needed to stick to like the lore and like the Tremere don't like the Salubri and the other clans killed these ones and eat these ones and all this stuff. And for like the first few episodes, I definitely tried to do that, where I was like, everything needs to be how the books say it, and Octavia and Imogen's relationship is weird and everyone's gonna hate it. But sort of as we went on, I sort of chilled the fuck out a little bit, and I was like, it's my world, I can do whatever the fuck. Like, none of the book, there's one Victorian era book, who's to say this isn't what happened back in the day? And we are sort of more like Supernatural, the TV show / X-Files, like Monster of the Week. Like, if a plot point isn't picked up and resolved in a lore-friendly way, whatever, next week you're fighting werewolves or a ghost or some zombies or what. This doesn't fucking matter. And I think
that that's a... Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think like my goal for season 2 will be fun over lore strictness.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I think that that's a really good way to view RPGs in general. I think a lot of people, myself included, holy balls, get really caught up in the lore of things and needing to know the lore and being like, well, this is how they do it on like whatever massive show that is lore accurate and blah, who cares? Yeah, I think that I saw a really interesting post the other day about the Adventures on Balance, about how it was so special because they made so many mistakes and they did not know what they were doing at all.
Yeah.
And that will never be able to be recreated. And I think that it's totally fine that, like, whether it's in your home game or a podcast or a live stream, whatever it is, it doesn't have, it's a good lesson for life in general. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
Yes,
Do what you
resist
want.
perfectionism.
Yeah.
Yes.
Easier said than done, of course.
Yes.
Here we are.
But like a weird thing was like finding fun history facts, like where Karl Marx's body was buried. I was like, that's just fun.
Oh my gosh. That was one of my favorite arcs. That was so funny.
So good.
Sarah, what about with you, like, guesting? Have you been a guest on many, like, RPG shows that you didn't really know well beforehand, like the system?
Oh, none that I didn't know the system.
So talk about that.
It was very much just me messaging Kelly like, what the fuck do I do? Help! And I was super thankful that Kelly was able to just kind of be like, this is how it works. And I think just Tiddies as a general show, I think we're very beginner friendly for guesting. So I think that's something that's really really great about, like, when I came on, is it was very much just like, this is what you do, this is how you do it, if you fuck it up, it's okay. And that was super nice. And like, it's like I found Vampire very intimidating. And it's less intimidating now, and I'd be more interested in playing a home game in the future.
Ooh.
Nice.
So that's cool.
Ooh.
Yeah. We have a question about, is there anything about your characters that you want to reveal? Anything that you wish you could have explored and didn't get the chance to? So let's do this for either show. If someone has something off the top of their head, feel free to jump in as going first.
Nothing that's not spoilery.
Yeah,
for
don't
maybe
spoil
season
anything that you
2.
want to reveal in TBN. Spoil D&D. We're not doing Wild Well anymore.
Yeah, they're done. TBN, I don't think I have anything for TBN, because I think where Evelyn is going at the moment, I think is where I want her to go. So I'm excited. For Borba, I think my main goal for Borba was for her to realize that she needed help. And I think we were getting close to that. And I think it was, and she's also, who knows, there's gonna be a one shot. We hinted that maybe, spoiler alert, she might not be lost forever. So I think maybe she can retire and one day get the help she needs. Normalize going to therapy.
Yeah.
Basically, the
Therapy is
moral of
great.
Borba's story, because she went through a lot of shit. My whole thing this season with the nightmares, Sara and I worked on every time
whole
she had a
system,
long
yeah.
rest, we would roll a d20, and the difficulty, depending on what had happened in that day, would depend on if she was going to have a night terror or not, because of all the shit she's been through. And I would be constantly exhausted, and it was going to be really difficult to play that, and frustrating, because you can't do half the shit you want to when you're exhausted, because you're just going to fail half your rolls. But I thought it was going to be worth it for the story, and I think the moment with Asher was close to her getting like the help she needed, because there was the whole conversation where Asher was just like, you need to talk, it's all good, and then that night she had a really great sleep. I think if I was to if we were to do that one shot, who knows, maybe we'll end it on her getting together with Paya and having her date, and then going to therapy and retiring and being like she'll multi-class into like a pacifist monk or something, meditating all day every day, just being like, I need
monk
to fucking
barbarian.
Ooh. I just want
being like, I need to get my chakras in the right section.
I want like the Avengers shot of Borba in the backyard chopping wood with the axe.
Just in the farm.
Yeah.
It's just like, finally I can rest.
I mean, for Wilmer, I think his main arc is just coming into his own and learning about how to where he fits and being okay with that. And I think most of that, I think that was done very well, and the way that because he really, especially going in throughout the second season, is he started to really get homesick, because even when during the Wild trials, that was very he was still theoretically at home. Worst case scenario, always in the back of his mind was oh, his parents could save him if he was about to die. Whether or not that could have actually happened, he was a little spoiled brat, so he thought that could happen.
Silver spoon.
Silver spoon. Yeah, so I think going into season 2, it was just very just kind of eye-opening of just yeah, this is what he actually misses, and this is what he enjoys about his life, and learning to appreciate and cherish all the things that are good.
Nice.
I have a question in this question to
Ooh.
Kelly.
Yeah.
What the fuck is up with the Institute?
Oh yeah.
What actually was the Institute? Because okay, my theory is that it was a mental health institute, and that he was a patient there. They were a patient there.
Yeah, it was Shutter Island.
That's what I was thinking. Because every time anyone asked, you were like, yes, I was totally a doctor at the Institute. I was like, nah, that sounds like you were a patient at the Institute. You're saying that's so sus.
Okay, so this is the reveal thing for Asher that I wanted to do. Asher is basically a love letter to my character in high school. When we were in high school, we played a 3-year-long campaign of 3.5. I played a doppelganger cleric.
That's cool.
Who, at some point in the campaign, my cleric went out into the mists and planted an acorn. And because of the time dilation fuckery of the mists, the acorn grew into a massive island-sized tree that thought my character was a god because it was its father. So the tree that Asher, who's the patron of, is that tree. And my character in high school eventually died off, but their legacy basically translated into a institute of healing. So their church became a hospital, became a school. And so the institute/school that Asher went to was the school/institute that was made of the church that my cleric had created. And Asher went there because it was the only school that specialized in changeling anatomy. And when Asher got sick, they went there, and the nurses were so nice that they become a student. I didn't mean that Asher went to school for 14 years. They just studied there and became a doctor and wasn't good.
Yeah. Self-doubt.
Yeah, that was my there was a point during Asher's character creation that I was like, this could all be connected to my high school game. So I'm going to do that because that seems sweet and fun.
That's nice. That's kind of like what Rachel did too with like Borba's history, especially with the season 1 arc, was very much dealing with the past of one of your games too. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I have some Imogen secrets that haven't come out yet. Not secrets, but just like plot points and story points that like haven't been revealed yet that I will leave to Kelly for when they will get revealed. Steve, I don't think. Please hold as you know what? I should have been doing this while everyone else was talking, but here we are. I'm gonna pull up some notes. Wow, there's nothing there. Yep. Pretty much like not. There's not a lot. I feel like Steve was very already very much so living as her most authentic self, and there were no secrets there. And it's for like backstory stuff like that came out in season 1 that she like stole the money from her cousin's
parents.
Yeah. Best friend's parents. I've already forgotten. Wow.
Best friend's parents.
Best friend's parents. And all of that jazz. So like, I don't think she has any like secrets or like interesting backstory notes past that. Really? Like, I don't know. Yeah.
I have a question for you, Steve/Emily.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Given the opportunity, would you want to become a were-spider and have those extra arms to work on things? No? Interesting.
You know how much that would cost for extra arms and all that extra fabric? Also, Steve has her aesthetic down, and she does not. And she has had that aesthetic for so long, she doesn't want to fucking change it. She's 69 years old.
That was something that surprised me. I did think, like, I tried to make that deal enticing enough and like with not that many downsides that maybe some of you would like seriously consider it. And I feel like basically all of you were like, no.
I think Asher might have considered it because it was more power to help everybody. But at that point, I was already Ash, and Ash was like, nah, just gonna kill Hecna.
Yeah.
The thing is that Steve is so, I think, set in her ways, and I think at that point was just like, no.
Borba was close, I feel like, but I also feel like there have been so many people that have fucked us over in this campaign that she was just like, but what's the catch?
Yeah.
I don't want to trust anyone anymore because that's how people betray us.
Speaking of Arachne, though, what the fuck was with the contract?
What didn't we read?
Yes.
Whoa. What couldn't I understand? Because I read everything. I just rolled like shit.
Okay, let me get. I'm gonna have to find. I copied down the exact text I got of what Jeremy
Wait,
wanted
so this was
to
Jeremy's
be in
idea?
It. Yes.
God damn it.
It was all Jeremy.
Okay, if it's Jeremy's idea, then we just know that Marge's favorites are in a contract to like go on tour or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like touring production.
Don't worry,
touring
because
exclusive story rights.
you got yourselves out of it by how you even dealt with the end of the entire campaign. But so this is the exact message, word for word, that I received in that episode. Tell me if this is okay. Can I have a clause that gives me the rights to all of Hecna's lands, titles, and properties? Or one of them must join my theater permanently, become a were-spider, and all of that good stuff.
Nice.
So
That's pretty good.
But I stabbed it, so it's fine. It's all gone anyway.
the way that everything
Steve
happened.
is the savior at the end of the day. Steve saved everything.
You were so hell-bent on like even destroying the wagon that like none of the entire contract itself was just burned in that flames.
Amazing.
I think we could probably let Hecna have the rights to like Marge's Favorites, the musical.
Yeah.
You mean Arachne?
Arachne. We can give Arachne the rights to Marge's Favorites, the musical.
Yeah. Arachne would do a good job at producing that, I think.
Yeah, I don't know though. There's always so much like like cultural shifting. Like if you look at the play when they did the play in Game of Thrones, like they just like totally politicized it, or even like in the Airbender Avatar, like that.
The Airbender play.
Fucked.
Or like when
Ever players?
when Loki did the play of him and Thor, like Arachne would be the
just
hero in our
David.
situation. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
But-
shit.
Are there anything else? Is there any other?
I have a question.
Ooh, go for it.
I have a question, Char.
Oh, for me.
Char, I have a question.
Okay.
Char,
What is it?
was Nika actually Marge's daughter?
Ooh, no, Nika was not. Nika was all up in that. She was a wizard, and Marge also was a wizard. But she was just a henchman of Hecna that wasn't a lieutenant, that he was hoping would be able to play the ruse long enough to gain some significant information from you all, which did sort of work out. But yeah, I feel like you've dealt with the aftermath of that pretty well.
I have a question.
Yep.
Not Timber. I know I did that.
I was like, what?
Now that Hecna is defeated, will the Wild Well trials continue more like the Olympics, or are the trials going to disappear?
Well, that's season 1 lore, that the Wild Well trials themselves were not originated by Hecna. Hecna sort of like came in and started to twist everything through Korak mainly, and his all-powerful beingness over everything. So once season 1 was completed and the Wild Well trials were already sort of beginning to be dismantled with Korak being killed, I feel like it takes a bit of time, but that would be something that would change and go back to being more of the gladiator / Olympics, more safe than what was.
Asher
what
would
was
100%
featured.
go do the Wild Well trial then.
I have a question for you, Char.
Okay.
Was Korak actually back, or is he just like a construct or like something that Hecna brought back?
Yeah. So
Because if he's
what?
alive and Borba's just gonna be like, I'm dead.
Sorry.
Hold up. This could be potentially spoilery, though.
For Search for Borba.
That's true. Things will, a bit of more information will come to light, but I will to let you know that I built spaghetti. There were so many abilities that also didn't get used that I was a little sad about. I had like a leeching fork that would like steal some of your hit points. There was like spaghetti whips that were coming.
The meatball stole all the fucking hit points, so you didn't really need that.
Yeah. But the way I built spaghetti was that with the idea of Korak being a reborn, which came out in Ravenloft, I think.
Yeah, Van Richten's Guide.
Or Van Richten's Guide, not Ravenloft.
To Ravenloft.
Yeah.
You had one word. That's good.
And I just used that idea, but he's definitely not what he once was. That wasn't really your brother. But that's all I'll say, and I'll leave the rest of the lore to come out in the Save Borba's Body episode.
Oh.
Biscuit will save the day.
Yeah.
But speaking about people being like reincarnated and stuff, we have an alternate dimension activity here for Wilmer, my dear, with your wild magic surge. I'll let you explain it, Sarah. What happened to you in the final battle, and what are we going to do now?
In the final battle, Wilmer did a wild magic surge that meant that if he were to die, he would be reincarnated as if by the reincarnate spell. And basically what that means is you come back, but the magic... Okay, I'm reading directly off the spell here. Magic fashions a new body for the creature to inhibit. Because initially what I thought is I'd just come back as myself, because I didn't know what the reincarnate spell is. And I was like, sick! Wilmer's still gonna be Wilmer.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, no, you come back as just like a random creature, which is kind of sick.
A random race, yeah.
Well, yeah, random race, I mean.
Yeah.
So please roll. What would it be? What would it be?
Okay, gotta get my brain in the right place. Wilmer comes back with 1 hit point. You cannot kill me! Gets hit by some fireball or stuff, goes down. And it's 94, which is
Lame.
tiefling.
Tiefling.
94 is a,
Ooh.
94 is a
You're
human.
right. Oh, 94 is human.
Oh.
Already halfway there.
Aw.
Got rid of your elf side.
All right.
Wilmer Tiefling would be
squishier,
rad
though.
as fuck, because you got pretty metal at the end there.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
that'd
true.
be sick.
Yeah.
The horns.
Wilmer human slightly.
I'll fix it in post. You rolled the tiefling roll.
I rolled a 98,
We
guys.
decide.
A little tiny tidbit. In high school, my character did cast reincarnate on one of our teammates, and he came back as like a cat or a dog or something. So he was just like our pet, and he rolled a new character, but like the other pet loved that character. It was great.
Nice.
Just for shits, I'm rolling to see if Steve died and had that on her.
I mean, yeah, go
Oh my
for it.
God.
What would have happened?
I think it's fitting. A high elf.
Yeah.
You'd be so much taller.
All right,
I
I
see it. I see it though.
I'm gonna do it now too. 'Cause
Now we're all doing
this is
it.
fun.
All right, everyone roll.
Did
I
do
got-
100?
I got
Yeah,
90.
100.
I got
Yeah.
94.
It's also human.
Also
This is
human.
It's the same thing that I rolled.
High five.
47. I don't have the thing open. I don't know what it is.
I'm rock gnome.
Hey, get a little. Yeah.
Nice.
I liked that. That was good. I liked it a lot.
Okay, back to TBN world.
Hey.
What are your favorite disciplines to play around with? And this is asked for both the storyteller and the players.
Oh god, let me pull up my character sheet.
I really liked the blood sorcery. I'd never played it, or I've played a Tremere in a one-shot, but never in a full campaign. And that was pretty cool. It gives a really wide range of abilities because of all the blood rituals that you can learn. And I find that when I play fantasy tabletop games, I really like to play characters that have the ability to use magic or use spells. So this was like the closest thing to being a wizard, and I've been really enjoying it so far, for sure. And then, of course, animalism, because gotta love Prophet. Anything with animals is great. That's me.
Obviously, I'm really fond of going invisible and not being seen, but I feel like that's just because that's how Evelyn is built. So I'm like, oh man, she's so min-maxed into these things. I'm gonna use them all the time. When I picked up, I don't remember what the fuck discipline it's the ones that the hallucinations.
Oh, yeah, the Ravnos ones.
Yeah, I thought those were so cool. And they have been so useful, and somehow every time I've tried to use them, I've rolled so well that I just think I want to do more of that. It's very, very useful because it makes a quick getaway. It can make them do whatever I want them to do because they are afraid or whatever. It's just very useful.
Towards the beginning of the season, I really liked Obia, because I had it at the beginning of the season. I used it a lot. I would say though, I picked up Dominate part of the way through, and I've got like now I have the most dots in Dominate. I think because I did more of that stuff you're supposed to do while you're creating your character, and I read more of the book. And because I always felt that it was kind of weird that the Silvery would have Dominate. But then I read like the reasoning behind that is like to calm people down, not to like take control of them, which makes a whole lot more sense. So then I started taking a lot more powers than that, and I quite enjoyed using that and the shenanigans that came about from from all of that.
I really like that aspect of Dominate, because everyone reads Dominate and they think like mind control. I'm gonna make you drink and stuff like that. But yeah, the Salubi are like make people forget their pain, calm people down, and in the off chance that they get attacked by someone, just get them to chill the fuck out so they can leave.
Yeah, which makes a whole lot more sense.
Yeah.
And I look forward to diving into that a little bit more in the future.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
who's now?
Yeah, you
Me.
or I mean Sarah. If I don't know if Sarah will remember the name of the disciplines, but
I will actively not. I like the one where I jumped high. That was cool.
Oh, yeah.
That was-
Soaring
Soaring
leap.
Leap's great.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
cool. Jumping on buildings is tight.
Follow people was cool too. The smell one, that was sick.
I really like Vicissitude, but it's been moved to Protean now. Protein, whatever.
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
So-
I'm such a good RPGer.
So Vicissitude
I mean, if it's not
is
in your
the
class, you wouldn't know.
yeah, it's the Zamichi ability to like fleshcraft. Basically, I'm a huge fan of
What?
like literally lets you like give someone blades on their arm by like moving a bone from one location of their body to blade arm, and it gives
don't
them
like
like natural weapons.
I regret asking.
Or you can
it's like Wolverine or like Spike.
yeah,
Yeah.
or you can like
Okay, cool.
you can move like
More
muscle.
cool now.
You can move like muscles in their arms to their legs so they can run faster.
cool
Shit
now.
like that.
Body horror.
I really love body horror,
Wish.
and I mean Asher was literally body horror, but I tricked
Yeah.
you all by just having it be trees. I made a Zamichi once for a game that will not be named, and I was like so hyped to have basically like just like artwork of like things that were made out of bodies. I essentially thought of like the Tim Burton, the Beetlejuice house after the artsy people moved in, but like made of bones and bodies and shit. So I love Zamichi in their creepy ways.
Nice. All right, I've posted the next question in the chat so you can all think about it ahead of time. But this was submitted via Instagram by Rachel S. And they would like to know kiss, marry, or kill. And we have 2 sets of these, one for TBN and one for Into the Revelia.
Heyo, the TBN one is for me.
From Emily and Matchette. Also, there we go. Let's start with Emily's. So Emily asked, kiss, marry, kill, Marguerite, Sydney Jones, or Murphy. I feel for me, I would definitely marry Murphy. I really like adorable, bumbly people that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
See my current partner.
Wow. They're just like, thank you.
And then I would definitely kill Sydney Jones. That NPC was very annoying in the best of ways, for sure.
Yeah.
That's
What are you
like
talking about?
the Malkavian
They're the best.
Malkavian dream sequence was
So upset.
honestly a great part of the show. But yeah, I would kill them, which means I'd have to kiss Marguerite and her cigar breath, which is fine, I guess.
Oh no. Oh no, I don't want to kill Marguerite, but cigar breath is like a big red flag for me. Oh no.
I wasn't even thinking about that until you said it.
That's
And
like a huge-
yeah.
That's
Uh-oh.
a huge no. Like that's like I'm out. Like I'm like I can't do it. That smells just not a good time.
I think I gotta kill Marguerite for that, and then I guess
Yeah.
kiss Sydney Jones, and then
Mary
marry Murphy.
Murphy. I think we're the same.
Ooh.
Mine is kill Sydney Jones because the background of that character is scary.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Kiss Murphy.
Something to reveal?
Kiss Murphy because he's a little sweetie. Get a little sweetie. And I would marry Marguerite because I like cigars and I love drinking whiskey, and we can just literally just vibe and hang out. And she got a good job. She only works nights? I don't, whenever she works.
Yeah. Nice. I can see that.
Yeah, Marguerite's chill.
And then we have Sarah, not to rob you of this opportunity. I'm not sure if you know who these characters are. All right. And then we have the Into the Revelia version. Same question, but for Arachne, Cicero, and Sophie.
I'm gonna say this right now. I gotta kill Arachne. I don't like spiders. I'm real sorry. I cannot do it.
I was like, there's no way Emily's letting Arachne live.
I'm really sorry, but I'm setting Arachne on fire and running away.
Almost like what we did.
Almost like what we did. And then I would probably have to kiss Cicero and then marry Sophie, I would say.
Cicero doesn't have lips. He just teeth.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, I don't want to marry that though then either. Like,
Cicero on the cheek.
Yeah, it was. Kiss, marry, kill. We're the PG-13 version.
Yeah,
of this game, so it's
true.
fine.
True.
See,
If it wasn't, it would definitely be reversed.
Just think about all those teeth.
I'd probably marry Arachne, cause he seems like a fun dude. All the fun spider stuff. He's got his own true constant entertainment. You'd be weighted on hand and foot with Arachne. You just gotta establish clear boundaries early on in the relationship, and then you're fine.
Yeah.
Still spider.
Yeah, I would kiss Sophie because I feel like she's a little freaky, and then I would kill Cicero because there's no way Cicero would be okay with like a kiss and then we never talk again. Like, there is no way.
Very true.
I didn't think about the aftermath. I just thought about the during the activity.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so torn because I am also very not okay with spiders, but the show tunes.
Those
show tunes.
He has a humanoid form. He doesn't have to be in his like half form or full spider form.
Imagine that it's like kind of like a centaur spider where it's like the spider legs and then like the human torso, like the like weird Dark Souls boss with the naked lady top and the spider bottom. So I'm like, maybe this will be okay. Maybe I can marry this creature and it will be fine and they can do shows. It's like, oh, it's their anniversary. They're doing a chorus line in our living room. This is amazing. For kiss and marry, I don't know. Cicero seems kind of clingy, so I don't think I want to marry him. I just think maybe this would be a little too. I feel like it would be. I don't know. I feel like Cicero would need to go to. Like, this is Rachel, but if we was Borba, I'd be like, both of us need to go to therapy. Both of us need to go to therapy. So maybe we kiss Cicero. We'll leave the country, change our name, and then go marry Sophie.
I would kill Cicero. I mean, Cicero's already been dead, so I think that'd be fine.
They're like, this is fine.
Yeah, you know what? I would kiss Arachne because it would be passionate. Like, those spotlights would hit you. They would get real into it. It'd be so dramatic.
The music would swell.
Hell yeah, that'd be.
It's stage manager's like, no, it needs to be this color. Like, change the color of the lights.
Oh no,
this,
I feel like
that.
Arachne would come prepared.
Yes.
And then I'd marry Sophie because it'll always smell like candles.
Yeah, true. What a good reason.
I mean, bloody candles.
Oh,
Candles,
Yeah.
I
We've
guess.
got a candle called vampire blood. It smells great.
I would kill Cicero because he just needs to be set free, my dude. I would marry Arachne because that was just a good time. And then that means that I would kiss Sophie, which I would do begrudgingly because she's evil AF, but it's fine.
Your lips would be turned to wax.
Yeah.
Have those toy wax lips.
And I think that's a good point for us to take a quick break. We'll only be gone for 5 minutes. This is a shorter episode, so we'll see you all soon. of our Q&A episode. Thank you for sticking around. And it seems by the music I hear that we are back in the Jamboree. My friends, you are all facing a variety of lovely clownish faces in intense makeup with their mouths wide open, waiting for you to shoot some water, hard wink, into their mouths. As you all come up to play this game.
I don't like how you said that.
Water.
Little suspect.
This is a time-sensitive game that we are playing with real dice today. Your objective is to roll a DC 12 dexterity check. The first to get 4 successes wins. So we're going to be counting down 3, 2, 1, go. On go, you can start to roll.
First to who?
Just
Dirty
rolling
what?
the 1 dice. No cheating.
There's 1 dice at a time.
First to what?
First to
First to
4
4.
successes.
All right.
You're trying to get a DC 12, so remember what you are adding or subtracting to this roll.
4.
You want 4 successes.
Okay.
So you're just going to keep rolling until you get 4. Just keep going.
Yeah.
All right, starting. 3, 2, 1, go.
1, 2,
1,
3.
3,
2,
4, done.
3.
Oh, God.
Ah,
My God, I know the last one, but
Steve.
everybody already got
I
it.
did it before Steve did.
I didn't.
I said 4 before she did.
I definitely said 4 before
I-
you.
I definitely said 4 before.
Oh,
Pull back the
it
tape.
sounds like we have to do a rematch,
Roll
my
deception.
friends. I heard Emily, but let's do it one more time. This is a quick one.
Okay.
Between the two
Everyone
of them?
gets to play again.
Oh, I dropped the dice. Fuck.
Don't worry.
A different one. It's fine.
Okay, starting in
Stress.
3, 2, 1, go!
1.
2,
1,
2,
2,
3,
3.
4.
Mine was a
That
success.
dice
I got a nat 20 though, so I
Oh.
think that should be 2 successes.
Dice.
Now, Borba, out of the corner of your eye, you actually notice an incredibly muscled, pale blue tiefling with a small crown perched in her short, curly hair that swings a massive hammer with ease. A narrow pole painted in rainbow stripes stretches up behind her, with a large red button at the foot of it. The top of the pole has a mask-like, sneering face that seems a little bit all too familiar to you, and lights dance around its edges as it speaks. What? You think you're strong enough to get to me? Maybe when a chungaboo poppies the dogus.
I
And
don't know what that means.
Where
she
those
beckons you
words?
Can't believe we
forward.
never learned that language. None of us even tried
I
to.
know, really though.
You're just like, this
It
is
feels
weird.
like
I don't
something we
like
should
it.
have done.
I guess we're going to this one. Goes forward.
Now, this is free to play. Doesn't cost any tickets for your first try. That's how they get you.
Wow.
And Ina Mina stands before you, a showstopper, the blue tiefling. And your objective here is just to do a strength check. This is
Oh.
a hidden DC for you, so I'll let everybody go, and we'll see who out of you has the ability to hit Heckna.
With modifiers or no?
Yep, so this is DC, I almost said it, strength check with your modifiers as if
So-
you're rolling a character on your character sheet.
Are you sure you don't want me to roll without modifiers?
I'm sure, Sarah.
Yeah.
Just checking in here.
15
Big
for
mood.
Steve.
I got
All
a
right. 21 for Borba.
17 minus 1, 16.
Ooh, mine's a 6 minus 1. That's a 5.
Borba, you are the only successful creature as your mallet hits the button. 4 red tickets spit out of its mouth. And you are the winner. The DC was 18 to make this game.
Okay, I wouldn't have gotten
Fuck it, I'm doing again.
Well,
No.
Steve,
now.
as you seem
No,
very
I'm gonna roll
eager.
until I get it.
No, wait,
No.
Steve. As you seem very eager, Ina Mina comes up to you and she says,
Nat 20. Sorry. Yep.
all these rules don't count until I get to tell you what happens. She says, well, if you would like to go against me, we can do a little tete-a-tete here. What do you think? See which one of us has the stronger arms.
I don't want to. I'm not strong.
Do it.
Fine, I will do it.
You have to wager. You gotta wager 2 red tickets.
Fine. I don't know how many of those I have anymore.
It doesn't matter.
no.
This is just for fun.
This is imaginary land where we can play these games.
Okay.
And in this imaginary land, Borba would like to give the help action by teaching
Ooh.
Steve some very important stretches for her biceps and triceps. Like, remember, before you swing, you gotta stretch it out. You gotta make sure you're nimble and ready to swing that thing right up. And get
All
in there.
right.
I'm
Steve,
also-
you can roll with advantage.
I'm also gonna cast. I'm gonna cast Hex on the opponent so that she gets disadvantage on strength rolls.
Ooh, okay. She
I'm
rolls
also
again.
Actually, just gonna use my Ring of the Ram.
Oh.
No.
Well, fuck me,
This
I
is a
guess.
strength check. It's still a strength
Got
check,
a strength.
not an
I'll
attack
strength
roll.
check, but I'm punching with my Ring of the Ram.
Okay.
Not 20.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Really?
Take that photo. Yeah,
Wow.
that's-
You
Focus.
beat
Focus.
Idamina.
Dice up.
And she says, "Oh, I'll be sure to tell Hecna how strong you are. Congratulations, you win. You won the wager. Here you go." And she gives you triple the amount of tickets you had to pay.
I mean, you could tell
Excellent.
him if he wasn't dead. As Rose fades away.
What we all don't know is this is all affecting that one shot that we're gonna do in the fun house.
Oh, shite.
God.
Now Emily's just gonna get targeted with all the strength checks.
All right. And that's it for the midway as we venture back into question land. A reminder that anyone watching live on Twitch, you can submit your questions in the chat. I'm keeping an eye out for them. But until then, we'll continue with the questions that we received before this episode went live. Going into an Into the Revelia question. How can I learn to love another character after what happened to Borba? And I thought this was actually, it's like a funny question, but it's also like a real question to open up the floor about like how we dealt with character death and how to deal with that both as a viewer and as a player watching the show. So I wanted to give that the floor.
Honestly, I get it. It's rough when you get attached. It's rough. Again, I will reiterate that Sara and I had full communication the entire time. That is very important. If you are playing a game and you think your character might die and you're not cool with it, let your DM know. And if they're just like, no, we're gonna kill him anyways, that's a problem.
Ooh.
So,
DM.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Put that DM right in the
communication
trash.
and make sure that everything is in the realm of, like, make sure you're consenting to have this happen to a character that you've spent time fleshing out and essentially inhabiting for however long your campaign has been, because that can be rough. And if you are okay with it, then it's like a breakup. It's gonna take time. It's gonna hurt. You're probably gonna cry. I totally didn't cry after it happened. Totally didn't just go to bed and was like, oh my god, she's gone. Oh my god, it happened. So yeah, it's just know that it's normal to feel sad. But you can always revisit that character anytime you want, because guess what, guys? It's a fucking game.
But it's not canon, though. It's not canon.
It can be whatever the fuck you... I was gonna leave her to die, and I was like, you know what? I changed my mind. I want to resurrect this bitch, because she deserves better. So you can just change your mind and be like, you know what? This happens next campaign. She's gonna be an NPC because she deserves it. I don't know. You can do whatever you want because your imagination is all that's holding you back.
And that was also something, just to pull back the curtain a bit, like B-Dave and I were also chatting behind the scenes of like, how do we want to execute this? No pun intended. But to make sure that we had doors open, it was very much like, okay, I'm going to take Borba's body and like leave the area. And then that gives a chance if the player is feeling like they made the wrong choice or just wants to make a different choice or whatever. So it really set us up for having a myriad of options available to us depending on what Rachel would like to do with her character moving forward, especially in like live stream games. There's a lot of pressure, I think, as everything is happening, like to make decisions quickly. And even though you've had like time to think before the episode, there's so much that goes on in the heat of the moment that things can change on a dime. So I really like that we gave ourselves the opportunity to have that nuance in the aftermath of that, for sure.
Yeah. And when it comes to learning to love another character after what happened to Borba, Season 3 is gonna be all new, baby.
Yeah! Woo!
All new story, all new people. It's gonna be great. All new characters. It's like don't even worry about it. It's all good.
Heck yeah.
Yeah,
do
I
folks
always
have
like
comments?
for like almost like in the same way that people like you write a show or something like that. Like a death of a character should have like a narrative meaning to it, and you should come out of it feeling satisfied with the story. Otherwise, like it's just a hollow, meaningless death, and you're sad for no reason. And like
I think it lessens other deaths as well.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you just keep on killing your characters again and again and again and again, like it's not gonna have the same kind of impact on
Mhm.
Yeah.
George
After a
R.R.
while.
Martin, we're coming for you.
I felt satisfied with the way Borba went. That was very emotional, and I liked it. It was good.
And it's
I'm glad it
also,
had an
like,
impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I know for myself, I'm gonna just pull up my little sci-fi nerd self here. There's a really great quote that the Doctor makes in one of his episodes, and it's, everything has to end sometimes, otherwise nothing would ever get started. So it's always sad, but it means that you can create new characters like Sir Reginald, who is iconic. And you can create new storylines, and it allows for growth and additional fun times that you wouldn't have been able to have. And I think that's kind of cool and special.
Yeah. And like mid-season 1, Rachel was like, I think Floof is a paladin. And like he's been transformed and like stuck in this form. And like I'd like that to probably come into fruition like in season 2. And I was like, all right.
I was like, if Borba was to die, this is what's gonna happen. And Charles was just like, oh,
Okay. Yeah.
So did Floof going into that shoot in season 1 like unlock Sir Reginald's like paladin healing or like attack abilities?
What happened? When I realized that was what I wanted to do, it was when we were fighting. I believe it was the flesh monster, the giant blob, and then there was, I don't know if it was a fireball.
There was a fireball, yeah.
And we got caught in it, and that was the episode that like Borba snapped at everyone and was like, well, y'all are fucking trash, and you hurt my cat. And then the next morning, I think between episodes, Shah and I had a conversation being like, how do we make it so that, because I was like, I didn't think I was gonna really care about the like Floof, because I knew he wasn't gonna die, but I was like, oh, him being in risk of injury was kind of triggering. So I was like, I don't know if I want that. So then we're like, okay, so how do we make it part of the story versus just like retconning? Because I didn't want to make it impact the story in a bad way. So we were like, okay, he has magic shit. And then I was like, ooh, what if he's actually a paladin? And then we went into like this whole thing. And she's like, that's very creative, Rachel. And I was like, okay.
Cool.
Which is also like such a great example of how consent sheets are so story forward. It's really not limiting. You can just take what people have as their hard nose and like work around that in a way that that brings the story forward, that allows you to tell more interesting narratives. And like I've had some really negative experience with other shows with consent sheets specifically about this sort of thing, and this was just I'm just patting ourselves on the back of how we dealt with this. I thought it was great. Any other comments about character death or moving forward from experiencing a character that you love passing on? Emily, you didn't get to speak that much for this one.
I'm just trying to think. I can't think of.
I
I can't really think of anything to contribute. Yeah.
I had like another character death in a different campaign, and it kind of like it was very much one of those situations where like going in you have to have like going into a campaign, it's very important to be like, are you okay with your character dying? Because in my other campaign, like sometimes when you're in roleplay, like 4 bad rolls and you're dead.
Especially
Like,
early
that's
level,
all
yeah.
you can take. Yeah, so it's super important that you just be like, hey, I really don't want this character to die, and then you come up with a way around it, because otherwise, like, that game just completely dispersed because someone was super upset that their character died, and they weren't okay with it, and then game over.
Yeah.
I think Borbadai was my first experience with player character death. I do have more experience with like NPC death that has been super impactful on my other show, Legends. We've got a couple of spoiler NPC deaths. I'm not saying who though. Actually, so it's no fucking spoilers. That have been like super impactful. But I think Borba was my first experience with player character death, and I think I was just making sure that like I don't know where I was going with that. Like I felt like I was okay with it because I knew that everything was consented to and all of that. Like, yeah.
There was an NPC death in TBN that I personally was like, but I also caused it. I had introduced Elvena Giovanni as almost like she was eventually going to like warm up to the group and like sort of work with you and be your point of contact for the Giovanni.
Well, fuck.
But then the whole
That wasn't our fault. The Inquisition killed her.
the whole carnival.
Your fault.
I couldn't let the carnival riot go without some sort of consequences, and the
Fair, yeah.
Giovanni had been looking for the doll, so unfortunately her being in the area of attack was a bit sad, so
Fair.
yeah.
I mean, if we're on this like sort of downer note, I might as well go with there was a question about, is there anything about the campaign that I want to reveal for the D&D show? Something that I totally cut was that actually Dr. Stella was supposed to fucking betray the shit out of you. She once
Sarah was calling it for so long. It's like, I don't trust her.
Let's go, Sarah. You talk about your
I was
shit.
just gonna say, like, literally from the beginning, I was just like, there's no fucking way. Like, there's no way. She's too suspect. Oh, she's just there in the nick of time. Like, bullshit. Oh, she hurt her arm? Yeah, well, how did she hurt her arm? Okay.
So I will say she was so her character is the hunter, and there are 3 different versions of the hunter that you can choose when you run the Heckna campaign, and I chose Dr. Stella because she's a cleric and you guys needed some heals, or not directly a cleric, but she was like definitely a healer, and then once she gets kidnapped, especially the longer that she stays kidnapped without the party helping you, the effects of the torture just become too much, and then she'll end up betraying the fuck out of you.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. But at the time, it just felt like it was kind of too dark. Like, I want to keep our show still relatively light, even if we're doing like a whimsy horror campaign. And I just thought that you couldn't defeat spaghetti if you didn't have a cleric with you, but whew. So I made some edits. But that was like a very cool arc that like was interesting to me, but also with time, like I didn't want to play it out too quick either. And yeah.
Did Pinky die?
Yes, she was in
That was my guess,
Dr.
but-
Stella's lab, and none of you found her. She was encased in wax. So that's direct player impact there, unfortunately.
Well,
Well, fuck.
But transitioning to
Dallas.
a tick. Yes, you did. And also, we have a question for new players of Vampire the Masquerade. How was playing it different than you expected by watching it, watching other streams or reading the handbook? How was actually playing it different for you? Which I think is a really cool question.
I mean,
I didn't read the handbook.
I mean, that's like handbooks are huge, and like the player's handbook for D&D is chunky, but the Vampire the Masquerade one is like 3 times as big, maybe 2.5 times as big.
I learned by doing.
Yeah.
We had a couple practice sessions, and I was consistently in their Zoom chat asking how things worked. I always had the handbook open, so that I could like Control F to help me out with things.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't like sat down and actually read it. It's really hard to read things. I get distracted easily.
Yeah, big ADHD mood. I mean, I literally I'll a session before be like, all right, combat's probably going to happen in this one. Let's open the handbook and read how the fuck combat works. Hey, guess what, y'all? Not clear in VTM. I still don't know. I just wing it.
I mean, whatever.
it
I
works.
think
yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Emily.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. I already talked. Ah!
I'm like basically moderating. I've been talking this entire time. I was just gonna say,
if you've been moderating, you need to answer a question.
I was just gonna say that also like the idea of like needing to read a handbook like cover to cover is so not the case. I haven't even read the entire player's handbook for D&D, and that's just like. That's so gatekeepy. I don't like that. Not that the person who asked this question, it was meaning to be gatekeepy at all. It was just, I just want to flag that it's okay to not read the handbook and to learn by doing is great. And I think we did a pretty good job of expressing that, especially with Vampire the Masquerade, because everybody knows D&D. If they're going to listen to an actual play podcast, they probably know D&D. Whereas Vampire the Masquerade is a little bit more niche. So don't feel bad about that, Emily.
I was just gonna say that I think that also I don't know about other games, but particularly like Tiddies by Night is so incredibly role play story heavy that I feel like it's much more like an acting exercise rather than playing an RPG, if that makes sense. Which is my favorite thing about RPGs is that like it's basically improv, but it's structured because like you do roles that force you to make choices, which is nice because whenever I do improv, I'm like,
Yeah, I'm not good at improv.
But like the hard thing about like D&D is that it's so mathy that like if an encounter isn't balanced properly, it either takes too long and like is detrimental to the players, or is over incredibly quick and isn't that entertaining. Whereas like VTM, the pace of combat and the pace of like scenes are really just reliant on what feels good. And halfway through our season, Jason Carl, who's like the Vampire the Masquerade storyteller person, posted how like people are calling him out on how he ran rules in his game, and he's like, I just do stuff that makes the scene work well. And I'm like, okay, from now on, that's how I'm vibing.
Good advice. What about you, Rachel, as a newer player?
Before TBN happened, I was able to do at least a one-shot of Vampire the Masquerade, so I had some experience, but even then, as like that was my first experience and this was like my first campaign, what I noticed was creating the character is 10 times harder and more confusing than actually playing the game.
Aggressively nodding, yes.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Totally.
I could not tell you how to make a Vampire the Masquerade character. I have no idea. And I think we got like halfway through the season, and I was like, I haven't finished this. Because I was looking something up, and I was like, I haven't done this.
No, that's.
And I was like, shit. It's but playing the actual game, I got through like half a season with an incomplete character sheet. I'm such a bad example. Don't ever do what I do.
Oh no, it's like when Sara came on, I literally asked, I was like, hey, what do you want your character to be able to do? And then I made a character for you, and you did great. So
Yeah, well, we also based it off the historical figure, so we had a bit more a bit of ideas around it.
Can you talk about that, if that's not too much of a
cool.
spoiler?
Oh, yeah, it was fine. It was based, what was it, the Rat Man?
yeah, the Rat Man of like West Side or something like that.
Yeah.
I should remember.
Yeah.
I sprung this
The
on you.
Rat
I'm
Man
sorry.
of South End.
South
The
End,
Rat-
there we go.
I've
Yeah,
Googled.
that was it.
I've Googled.
Yeah, and I think he was just
I
like,
love this.
yeah, it was kind
I
of
mean,
a
I
cool
don't love
legend.
this. He like straight up almost died, but
Yeah.
Like, it all just started, Kelly was like, what do you want your character to be? And I was like, kind of want to be a character named Rat who uses it pronouns and is kind of grungy. And Kelly was like, BRB.
it looks like the Rat Man appeared in some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, hell yeah.
also.
Trained those turtles.
All right.
Kinda.
Last question of the evening before we get to our wrap up, and very special news, which I probably should have like teased at the start of this, but I did not. But special news coming up after this question. Last question. Any upcoming projects that we can get into while you are all on break? Very good question. Sarah, I want to hear about this other podcast / stream that's happening. I want to hear about that.
Yeah. So, Carefree RPG, which is like a talk, D&D talk podcast. We're launching a Curse of Strahd podcast, which should be coming out around the holiday season, so you'll have something to listen to, right? Yeah, and it's us playing through the Curse of Strahd, and I play this camp counselor, Eric Cochran, who's just so perky and light and so against the vibe. Just trying to bring a little levity to this dramatic setting. Yeah, and it's really fun, and it's really cool just to see how different playthroughs go of the campaign. And I've never played it before, so that's really cool.
Awesome. Very awesome.
And like other projects, December 15th, I'm doing a holiday cabaret in Vancouver, and we're going to do a stream of that afterwards. So if you're looking for some holiday music, you can check that out. We haven't decided on a date for the stream, but it's probably going to be around 20th to 21st, something like that. And then The Girl Next Door in May in Vancouver, an original
Tell us
queer
what
pop
that
rock.
is, though. If we don't know what that is.
Wow.
I mean, I know what it is, but
Yeah, it's an original queer Canadian pop rock musical about a straight quote-unquote couple that moves into an apartment building and finds out that the girl's ex-girlfriend lives next door. And it's told through flashbacks and present-day storylines of the girl's original relationship and the main character Violet's relationship to her boyfriend in the present, and just kind of what bisexuality looks like throughout different relationships and how different communities treat that person, which is kind of cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Any other plugs from you?
I think that's it for the moment.
Awesome. If you listen to Tabletop Tiddies, you probably are aware that Callie and I do Drinking and Streaming, a queer and feminist horror movie and cocktail podcast, which is still going on. And if you haven't listened yet, there's like over 100 episodes, which we are mind blown about. And then otherwise, I'm now on Hit Point Press as a player doing their Big Bad streams. So if you listen to season 1 of Tabletop Tiddies, the Skula arc of the Tiny Fairy was one of their big bads. And now I am part of the Big Bad Bureau trying to fight off these big bads and keep them in line, which is very cool. The backlog is on their YouTube, and otherwise it's the last Tuesday of every month at 5 p.m. PT.
Cool.
Emily, please tell everybody about all your awesome stuff.
I have so many things. I am a player, producer, editor on Legends: A Superhero Story, which is a superhero actual play podcast using an original system that my dad and my brother wrote, which will be kickstarting early next year, so keep an eye out for that. We release episodes every Monday as a podcast, and we've got we just released episode 63, so lots of episodes there if you want to listen to
So
that.
close
Heck yeah.
to 69.
So close. And then other than that, January 28th to February 12th, if you're in Vancouver, I am in a production of Seussical the Musical. I am playing Gertrude McFuzz.
Yeah, you are.
We just did a photo shoot for it. I'm very excited. I've gotten permission to wear my Fitbit in the show, which I think is hilarious. And also, I get to count my... It's very Gertrude, I think, to count your steps.
Quite modern. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Other than that, I'll plug also that I'm an online personal trainer, so I can train people wherever you live. Matchfit Athletics, if you're looking for training. That's not RPG related at all. I have client spots open, so...
Resolutions are coming up.
Drugs.
So.
Yes.
I think that's everything for me. Is that everything that I do with my life? I think so. Sure.
Awesome. Rachel, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you on the socials?
Yeah, because I don't have anything to plug because I work retail and it's the holidays and I'm just trying not to die. If you guys want to come hang out with me, I am at Ray, R-A-E, Theilade, my last name, on Twitter. I post a lot about video games because that is how I stress release. So we can nerd out over the holiday break because I'm probably going to be live tweeting the Game Awards on Thursday. Actually, not live tweeting because I work, so I'll be watching late. But, just fun stuff like that. So yeah, just come hang out with me over the holidays and we'll have a good time.
Awesome.
Nice.
Kelly, last but not least.
I'm on Drinking and Screaming, as Char said. You can just find a movie you like and go listen to an episode. We don't have a canon
Order.
through line.
Yeah, no.
I also run a YouTube channel called Super Hop Top that is a gaming channel. It's kind of like we're stagnant now because Char and I are super busy, but there's a lot of backlog you can go watch, and I don't know, I'm trying to redesign it and see what feels right, what sparks joy in that channel. So go check that out. I've also been on a couple Hit Point Press streams. Fingers crossed I get to be on more because they're awesome. And I don't know, just kind of vibing. I start a job on January 4th, a normal human job with
That's exciting.
Woohoo!
with times and stuff. So
Also for a video game company, so pretty cool.
yeah, so it'll be waking up early, 401ks, driving the kids to school,
Oh, yeah.
Packing lunches.
yeah, planning our retirement in Florida, I don't know.
And we've got the special news. Quite a few special newses. So I'll let Emily.
Housekeeping and future stuff. We are super excited. We are doing a holiday one-shot. We are we're recording it on Thursday, but we'll be streaming it on Tuesday, December 21st at 7 p.m. PST. So our normal time on Tuesdays in 2 weeks. And then we'll probably do the podcast release Christmas Eve, I would assume then, because it's the Friday then. It's a holiday. Are we saying what the concept is?
Oh, go for it.
I think we have to.
We're doing an Oops All Santas, like Oops All Bards, but we're all playing Santas. I'm very, very excited.
Well, you're not all playing Santas.
But we're all playing some form of
We're playing
Santa
some form of Santa.
Most of you are playing Santas.
Most of us are
Dun dun dun!
I'm very excited for it. I love the holidays. Oops, all Santas. I think it's funny. I will do regular housekeeping first, and then we'll do the special announcement. Regular housekeeping. The best way to support Tabletop Tiddies is to become a patron. You can find us at patreon.com/Tabletop Tiddies. We're hoping to get some extra stuff up there during our season break as well. So there is no better time to join. You can check out our merch at tabletoptiddies.threadless.com. There is a holiday sale going on right now until December 14th at 5 p.m. Central Time. All t-shirts are $15 and everything else is 10% off. So awesome time. Check it all out. I lost my page where I was. Oh, God. Make sure you're following us on social media at Tabletop Tiddies. And if you tweet using hashtag TTTiddies, you get your name on a list for an NPC to be named after you in season 3. All of this information can be found on our website, which is www.tabletoptiddies.com. Every time I'm saying titties, it's with double D's. And now, our special announcement.
Oh my
We
god.
are so very excited to announce that we will be expanding our team for season 3. You can apply. The link is in the chat, link is in the description, wherever you're listening. It'll be on social media. It'll be like the first thing in our like link in bio thing on Instagram and Twitter. We are expanding our team. If you may or may not know, doing these live streams and podcasts, that's a lot of work. We want to open our table up to more people. We are. Oh my god.
You okay?
I was like, what's going on?
We are actively seeking applications from the LGBTQ plus BIPOC, disabled, and other marginalized communities. Those applications will be prioritized. We encourage everyone to self-identify in the form. It's a very detailed form. Char made it. She's an excellent job at it.
We all worked on it.
We all worked on it. Char did the main part of it. They did awesome. So check it out. Send it to people that you think might be interested. And yeah, we also want to really what's the word I'm looking for? Stress that we are a very like beginner friendly stream. I think that if you are not a RPGer or you've never played before, not a problem at all. I played 2 games before this show started. Again, I'm not the best example. I didn't read the handbook. But we're very beginner friendly. We will do play tests and practice sessions and all that jazz. We're very excited to be expanding our team.
Yeah,
Is there anything
we
else that
always
I missed
play
with that?
test new characters, so
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
you get familiar with your character before we go. We're not just dropping you into hot water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it all, Emily. Great job.
Yeah, it's very, very detailed in the application. It's just a Google form. It's very, very detailed, though. Like I said, Char did a great job. And yeah, the
New
deadline. Actually, we should say
characters.
the deadline. The deadline to apply is
January 3rd.
January 3rd is the deadline to apply. Then we'll be doing some like interviews and playtests, and then season 3 we are hoping to start April.
Yeah.
I will say that. So
If all
taking
goes
an actual
according to
break.
plan. Yeah.
A little bit of a break, but also not, because we're also still doing stuff and hiring people and wanting to get some good, sweet Patreon content out there for you and all of that jazz.
And to be super clear, the season 3 is not going to involve Marge's favorites. It's going to be brand new campaign, brand new characters, brand new people involved. We're super excited about that. If Marge's favorites are near and dear to your heart, do not worry. They will pop up, I'm sure, in our bonus content and other things.
Oh yeah.
But we're very excited to be diving into a brand new story.
TBN season 2 will still be the IOU.
Yeah.
New people will be joining the IOU. Not
There are many unfinished businesses to deal with in the
Yeah.
IOU.
TBN's an ongoing thing. I'll do this till I fucking die. Or we get
All
bored
right,
of it.
bye, everybody.
Wait. I will also say, though, that we will also keep an eye out. We will be running another Indiegogo for season 3.
Yes.
Bringing new people on and all of that stuff. We're very open. We are a profit share kind of situation. And I'm poor, so Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Said it with a laugh, but the tears are real. All right, that's it. I don't want to end on that shitty note. Someone say a joke to close us out.
Well, I'm just really excited. Oh, Sarah, go for it. I'm
no,
so sorry.
I don't have a joke.
I bought a lottery ticket the other day. That's the joke. I didn't win.
Few Times is
I
live right now with
Oh, yeah.
Blackness and Dragons, so we have to go and raid them. We're very, very excited about that. So until then, we'll see you next time, you know?
Yeah.
Catch us on the
See ya.
interwebs.
See you next year.
In the Christmas. We'll
2022.
See you in the holiday.
Holiday shot.
For
Holiday
Saint
shot?
Santas.
Yeah.
Please, God, end it now.
Please take it.
Bye. Hey, I'm in control. I'll just keep this here.